young adult.
Those really are kind of like a cultural hub as well. That's where we get exposed to kind of different viewpoints and ways of seeing the world and other people that we're not necessarily always connected to in our day-to-day lives. And I think having those venues and establishments open again is really, really important.
She goes on to say, getting out more is a
Bitch, you
form
can't
of
do ecstasy in your basement like a regular adult.
Now time for the Road Ready Report on 680 News. Here's our automotive expert, Tim Demopoulos.
The Genesis GB70 is the most important vehicle yet for the luxury brand, and it's set to be its volume leader in the premium compact SUV segment. Our tester was the top of the line 3.5-liter sport.
So, see, the Haitian president, so there's 300, the Haitian president got assassinated, and there's 300 fires in BC right now. So what was it, 48 degrees? Some shit, it was 47.9 or something like that a couple weeks ago. Apparently the wood's all dried. It's perfect kindling. It's 50 of those fires started in the last 2 days. And the Haitian president, if you didn't know, so the last I heard, they had 28 people involved, and like 8 of them are dead already. Ooh, the Haitian police are mad. The Haitian police are mad. You just tell the way they're manhandling these guys. They want to hit them, but they won't hit them. They already killed 8 of them. And the Italians are going so crazy because they won the soccer game that they've closed certain roads. I don't know if the police officially closed the roads or like the Italians are just standing there waving their flags.
Rates are near record lows, so call Capital Direct.
Apparently Woodbridge is closed. That's a place. It's not a street.
Hi, Anthony Longo here. Over the last 65 years, we've enjoyed strong relationships.
All right, well, we got like 10 minutes to kill this. They're not going to tell us nothing in the next 10 minutes, but it'll be the top of the hour. So this is I guess, the fruits of last year's. These green ones here, I broke the whole stem off by accident, or I would have left them. Yeah, it looks ridiculous what I'm doing until you see it like that. Throw some lettuce in there, and you have a $14 salad. Chez me.
Thanks. Right now, I'm looking at the westbound QEW delays west of here, Ontario, to west of Mississauga Road. 2 left lanes are closed.
Why?
It gets slow just west of Mississauga Road. That's where the 2 left lanes are shut down. Otherwise, eastbound on the 401, we've got construction from Trafalgar to the 407. 2 right lanes are closed. So that is quite slow through there. If you're traveling north or southbound on Trafalgar, the ramp to the eastbound 401, that's shut down. And also, if you're on the eastbound 407, Warden to Kennedy, 4 left lanes, or rather 4 right lanes, are shut down for construction.
They have to shape it like a nipple, so you know that's where the electricity
north or south, you can't get onto the eastbound 407. Looking at the southbound 404 Don Valley Parkway, Highway 7 down to Seals, 3 right lanes are closed. If you're traveling on Highway 7 east or westbound, there's no access to the southbound 404 westbound Seals. The ramp to the southbound 404 is also closed.
About it. Now,
taking a look right now at the 427 northbound at Finch, we've got 3 right lanes shut down, so that wasn't causing a delay. Now, what is closed right now that could be causing traffic delays? We've got College shut down. Why? Italian fans still going strong, cheering the fact that Italy won today, the Euro. So College shut down from Crawford to Manning. St. Clair still shut down from Lansdowne to Dufferin. Woodbridge still closed from Kipling to Islington.
Italian fans.
Your next traffic report is coming up at 12:01. Let's get the forecast now. Here is Jason Fraser.
Well, if you don't have an umbrella, you're going to absolutely need one over the next couple of days because rain chances are going to happen every single day through Thursday. Yes, I said Thursday. And at some point, though, we will start to see temperatures slowly start to warm up. Temps really aren't going to change much tonight, tomorrow, and even through much of Tuesday. So tomorrow's high temperature will be right around 23 degrees. We'll see some on and off again rain chances, not only tonight, but also tomorrow as well. The rain continues through Tuesday, but at least on Tuesday, we start to slowly warm up to a high temperature of 27 degrees, and that's where we pretty much should be right around this time of year. We'll see a high of 26 for Wednesday, along with a small rain chance. Our overnight low tonight, 20 degrees.
And it is 20 degrees right now in downtown Toronto under a partly cloudy sky, and we have the exact same over at Pearson Airport. Coming up at midnight, All News Radio, a national newscast covering the top stories from across our country. 680 News Time, 11:54.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Dynamic Funds. You can't beat the benchmark if you are the benchmark. Dynamic Funds looks to the market for opportunities beyond the index. Learn more about active management at dynamic.ca.
Get hooked on Bolt Plus. Bolt Plus is your fastener specialist plus so much more. Check out their massive showroom filled with an extensive inventory of industrial and factory supplies such as abrasives, adhesives, and lubricants, anchors, storage bins, paints and coatings, cutting tools, chain hooks, and
I got a boat. I need an anchor and a chain. You sell anchors, or you sell? I need an anchor. We got to do that crank call. We got to, and anchor my boat to some drywall.
680 News. Listen on the go with the Radio Player Canada app.
Download now on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather.
No matter where you are.
With the Radio Player Canada app and the 680 News.
Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check business news. 680 News Time, 11:55.
When you get an online switch to Bel Air Direct, you could save up to $750.
Iceberg Simpson, Iceberg Simpson, Iceberg Simpson, butt naked, sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock those single bonds. What? Those single bonds. Don't single bonds. Only fuck with hoes who rock those single bonds. 7-7 butt naked, sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock those single bonds. Don't single bonds. Don't single bonds. Only fuck with hoes who rock those single bonds. Keep me on my brain. Gotta stay the same. Stay on the front page. Staying in the chest. Teeth to my chest. Iceberg season with some slugs. Do my best. I got these bitches taking hold. Swing the bullet. We're around pulling up with 5 ace 4. Maybe 5 jokers. Your bitch playing 6 poker. Outside these crying Oprah. Diamonds cross my leader. Diamonds cross my two-seater. Bitches act like I'm a beater. I'm gonna be a steamer. Diamonds on my beat. Diamonds on the BMW. Never been a school. Ice out my shoulder. Ice suit made by Koala. Diamonds on my piece and chain, looking like Mufasa. Look like Lion King. Have a Steve Wayne.
If I drop that, if I could drop hundreds of these in a deep fryer, you would buy that up.
Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't single bond. 7-7 butt naked, sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't single bond. Only shake, just like Super Bay. Only pay. Only know these babes. Only Super Bay. Can still lead. Can be the jet with the Poseidon steam. I'm a steam kingdom, got the jet sitting low. Slide by side, still sitting on foe. I'm swinging on the road. I'm sitting in time. You already know. Rap game go. Rap game go jet. My truck still connected. I'm
Bo knows this, and Bo knows that, but Bo don't know jack.
I keep that shit moving. Rap game Jackson in my life is like a room. It's a scary move. Diamonds on my jacuzzi. I cook at Ruby Tuesday. Rap game Oklahoma Soon. You know how I get down. You know how I'm known as flying. I jump around. Keep the hood block round. Sitting butt naked, sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't single bond. 7-7 butt naked, sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Don't single bond. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't single bond. Iceberg Simpson.
Who's that?
Iceberg Simpson. Iceberg Simpson.
Record skip.
Iceberg Simpson. Butt naked, sipping drink in my song. Yo, only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't see and go bump. What? Don't see and go bump. Don't see and go bump. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't see and go bump. Yo, seven butt naked, sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't see and go bump. Don't see and go bump. Yo, don't see and go bump. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't see and go bump. Give me on my brain. Gotta stay the same. Stay on the front page. Yo, stay in the press. G on my chest. Iceberg season. Do my best. I got these bitches taking swing the bullet. We're round pulling up with 5 ace score. Maybe 5 jokers. Your bitch playing strip poker. Outside these crowds Oprah. Diamonds cross my leader. Diamonds cross my two-seater. Bitches act like I could beat her. I'm gonna be a stealer.
Hello again, I'm Isaiah Khan. Here's what's making news right now.
Wagwan, Isaiah Khan.
Being issued in BC's interior as the forest fire season continues to impact
Forest fire season. It is now forest fire season. Hey, can a fire burn in the winter too?
Are expected to release information on their investigation as to the cause of the fire. The feds are now rolling out a new system to prevent fires that could be caused by trains.
Do you want to know the COVID-19 vaccine status of those around you? Experts recommend being mindful of both public health and social harmony.
Social harmony. You sound like when the UK cops said to call them if somebody hurts your feelings. They did. 3 years ago, they did that.
Sports at 15.
And way up in business, there's a new
The shopping channel. They shop TSC, the shopping channel.
This report is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Durham. Right now, we have a lot of maintenance happening on our major routes, starting off with a big closure. That's the Gardner.
Really? Because I am the maintenance out here, parents. All them nails. By the way, they should be twice as full right now. But I'm not allowed to have sharp objects according to my bail condition. It literally says sharp, but there's no, oh, it's this type of knife or it's scissors. No, it's a plastic fork. Yeah, that's why we're putting you in jail, stupid. You can't read?
0.49% on select 2021 models, plus additional
I can have the plastic fork in the restaurant. As soon as I leave, I have to throw it out.
Let's take a look at the forecast.
Chance of showers this morning. Our daytime high near 23 degrees, so we're still a hint below seasonal. We do have some wet weather moving in again later in the day.
You're say like how much below seasonal?
The risk of some isolated thunderstorms as we fall to lows near 20.
Your
daytime high for this afternoon, 23 degrees.
Our top story on All News Radio. Over 300 forest fires are keeping.
I want to hear this on a real
symphony orchestra. With over 50 of them started in the last 2 days alone. As a result, more evacuation orders have been issued, and as a resort community is asking visitors to stay away to support any evacuation orders.
132 homes have been emptied near Sun Peaks, north of Kamloops, due to a fire which has grown to around 150
Hey, you guys built your houses out of wood.
The fire is not a direct threat to the resort community itself. Sun Peaks Mayor Al Rain
This brings us back to these big concrete blocks. I'm going to build a fucking castle out of
as they try to recover from the pandemic.
I'm going to build a lock block castle.
70 to 80% down for the hotels, just starting to pick up again, and the fire season is hit, and certainly.
Don't the firefighters got to stay somewhere? You should be rolling in dough. Oh, they all broke because they're volunteers.
Area west of Williams Lake. The latest stats show the amount of area burned in BC thus far already approaching the totals for the whole of last year. I'm Paul James.
Yeah, but that was a record year too, wasn't it?
The RCMP are expected to release some information soon about an investigation into a devastating wildfire in Lytton, BC. Superintendent Ray Carpenter says multiple agencies are
see why I'm out there pulling up weeds, picking up garbage? See what happens?
Inferno that destroyed much of the community.
We're working with our colleagues at the BC Wildfire Service, the Office of the Fire Commissioner, Transport Canada, and Transportation Safety Board, gathering information and evidence from the area
Meantime, the BC and federal governments have announced they'll match up to $20 million in donation to the Canadian Red Cross so that every dollar donated will become $3 to support people affected by wildfires. And Federal Transport Minister Omar Alghabra is taking further steps to protect communities along rail lines following the fire that displaced hundreds of people in Lytton, BC.
I wouldn't expect it to stop because they cut the brush down like crazy.
He's ordering CN and CP Rail to take 5 steps when operating between Kamloops and Boston Bar or between Kamloops and the North Bend when the fire danger level is labeled as extreme. They include ensuring a 60-minute response time in the event of a fire along the right-of-way and consulting with First Nations to incorporate their knowledge about the presence of fire hazards, risk, and controls. Canada's Public Safety Minister Bill Blair, along with the National Minister of Defense Harjit Singh, have signed off on fire evacuation
green flashing lights on a car, and you're wondering what the fuck is that? It's a volunteer firefighter. It's actually a law now. You gotta let them pass. There's no siren, just green lights.
Continues to contribute to major air quality warnings. The community will be receiving armed forces help as well. Minister Singh adds they'll be sending Hercules aircrafts, an aircraft specially designed to land anywhere, which can be used as immediate medevac transport.
Although,
if you donate to the Canadian Red Cross to help those impacted by wildfires,
too stereotypical. I notice amongst them they do
Columbians are also being encouraged to donate. The province is matching donations of up to $20 million right now. If you want to help those affected, go to the Canadian Red Cross website.
You got 20 million already, or you're trying
Meanwhile,
to
down south, firefighters working in searing weather are struggling to contain a growing Northern California wildfire. Evacuations are already in effect there. Jake Kaggle with California Incident Management
says I live at the bottom of a drainage ditch that's about 1,500 kilometers wide.
Firefighting efforts.
If you are in there, you need to get out. We are advising you every day that you need to get out. Those are mandatory evacuations. It's going to help us if you are out of there.
The wildfire in Northern California is one of several blazes burning across the U.S. West amid another heat wave that's shattering records and straining power grids. On Saturday, 2 firefighters died in Arizona after a plane they were in crashed during a survey of a wildfire in rural Mohave County.
So that right there is deaths that are like needless. Like it's a plane crash and didn't even have like should statistically happen.
According to ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano, they can see more of this over the coming weeks.
We will get some relief again on Tuesday, but not a whole lot. More records fall. Still dangerous heat expected. Still have excessive heat warnings up for much of the West. 102 in Sacramento. Another triple-digit day in Salt Lake City. And the CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, saying it doesn't look that well for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Likely above average for the northwestern and western third of the country. More heat waves likely.
Who the fuck named it that?
Saturday, daily records were broken across California, Nevada, and Arizona. And extreme heat extended into Idaho and the interior parts of the U.S. Pacific Northwest. Yukon has declared a state of emergency because of flooding. The government says the declaration allows for a timely response in issuing evacuation orders if needed. Minister of Community Services Richard Mostyn says the territory has mounted the largest flood relief in its history. Over to the COVID front, where Saskatchewan has become the 2nd province in the country to list the last of its COVID-19 public health restrictions. Some people are excited about this lift, while others plan to exercise caution. The president of the Saskatchewan Union of Nurses says members are exhausted and anxious about what might happen next, and the hope of the province will bring restrictions back if cases start to climb again. Meantime, Ontario is reporting 166 new cases on Sunday. In Manitoba, the pandemic, like many other provinces, have caused a huge backlog in surgical appointments. Alex Carpo with City News talks to President of Doctors Manitoba, Christian Thompson, who's renewing calls for the province to take action.
According to Doctors Manitoba, there are approximately 110,000 surgical and diagnostic procedures on hold due to the pandemic.
These are people who are waiting in pain. They're suffering. They're fearful. There's so much uncertainty and concern over their health, and families are suffering too, seeing their loved ones going through this. So it's quite staggering.
According to a new report released by the Canadian Institute for Health Information, Manitoba experienced the most significant decrease in surgeries. Between October and December of 2020, there was a 29% decrease of surgical volumes in Manitoba compared to a 4% decrease Canada-wide.
Thompson says people waiting for their surgeries aren't coming to the ER to get temporary treatment for their chronic conditions.
And that's backing up the ER where the surgeons are, or they were, but they're all burnt out.
Have reached out to the province in hopes of creating a task force to tackle the situation at hand. It's almost 10 minutes after the hour. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have a look at your
weather forecast. Thanks for tuning into All News Radio.
I just had my
people across Ontario are receiving their COVID-19 vaccines. Health Canada approved vaccines are conveniently available in hospitals, doctors' offices, pharmacies, and mass vaccination sites. And every dose brings us closer.
If I got a mask, you're gonna vaccinate. I gotta vaccinate to go to mask. You still wear a mask.
Get your shot. Visit ontario.ca/bookvaccine. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Hi, I'm Kate, a team member here at Newborough.
In case you wondered who paid for that.
What you positively like I love it so much. So frame it. Put a nice box around it. And so, because you don't want to say, I don't like that, and I want that, that doesn't feel good. And it's also important to spend some time with yourself so you understand what feels good for you. So another really common complaint, I mostly get this from people who identify as male. If one person thinks that the other doesn't get the good times rolling enough, so lack of initiation. She never initiates. It can happen in same-sex relationships or in heterosexual relationships. And when that occurs, resentment can build up. And so the reason that people want their partners to initiate is because they want to feel desired. And so if you think about that, you're on the other end of the equation. You understand that your partner's request
centimeters along
that you
here
start
and
sex
inches
more
along here.
often. It's really about how they feel in the relationship. It might help you to reconsider and to, try to initiate sex every now and again, annually perhaps. You want to take that step because taking that step can boost your bond in a huge way. And then you can brag to all the neighbors and everybody in the hockey locker room.
Spring cleaning again. Oh, I knocked the can with it. Spring cleaning again. These are the worst cookies. These are the worst. These are the worst. I don't know how certain food products soak up this smell, but it's this horrible floor paint smell. Pasta gets it sometimes too, but you have to store it a long time for that to happen. And the mice will not eat it. I left them all. They won't go near it. I should say something useful. I'll have something useful. Let's listen to Riffs Raffs Wisdom. Let me just put my fucking joint. Damn it.
ride to a sitting on four. I swing on elbow. I'm sitting in Tahoe. You already know. Rap game boat. Rap game boat jet. My trunk still relaxing. I'm doing mathematics.
Song is here before the Jack game Jackson in my life is like wait a time and hit 19 that they let off
Tuesday, rap game Oklahoma. You know how I get it down. You know how I'm known to climb. I come around. Keep the whole block round. Sitting butt, making sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't see it go on.
Random link was the last thing I copied off my
Don't see it go on. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't see it go on. Seven butt, making sipping drink in my song. Only fuck with hoes who rock. Don't see it go on. Don't see it go on. Don't see it go on.
It's a YouTube link. I ain't taking that chance. I don't know what that is.
Motherfucker police always be fucking with me. Everywhere.
So while I was picking tomatoes, I got stopped twice. You doing? Huh? You doing? I'm holding a bunch of these little tomatoes in my hand, just holding my hand out, like whatever they thought I was doing. So the first ones I said, oh, they're tomatoes or so. Yeah. He says, I said I was picking the fruit or what. He says, I said there were tomatoes. He goes, oh, the baby ones. Buy these already somewhere, bastard.
I go, motherfucker police always be fucking with me.
I don't pay attention to the door numbers in the car when the next one pulls up. And I look up, there's another white guy. But the first one, I think the first ones were Italian, and the second one was, I'm pretty sure, Portuguese, and then a female driver. I didn't see too close. Don't pay too much close attention to the female cops when the male cops are there. They get very, very protective. Yeah, why wouldn't they? What are you doing? What? Didn't you just stop me like 2 minutes ago? Oh, you're different cops. Hey, I'm picking fruit for the seeds. You're good though? You're okay? What the fuck?
Everywhere that I go, do I look like a criminal? What?
Now you have to put it in the context of Canadian politics. It's hashtag CDNPOLI. They can't stop me from wandering around and picking stuff. So with every other First Nation, they might try to, but the Mi'kmaq go everywhere and do. That's our thing. We go everywhere and do that, even on other people's territory. So yeah, you tell us you made a treaty with whatever people that's your white people's land now. We're still coming through because you didn't make a treaty with us, and we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Last time we came through here, this was somebody else's house, so fuck you.
Fuck, do I look like a criminal?
So they can't stop us from picking fruits and things. They're growing. So the exact technicalities of the law aren't too important. I'm standing somewhere where anybody could publicly walk by on the sidewalk, and the fruit are on this side of a chain link fence. It's fairly obvious I am on this side of the fence. So wherever the exact property line is, whatever, isn't even that important. You're allowed to pick everything that hangs over. And anything that hangs over onto your property, you can cut right off. Like if somebody's tree branch pisses you off, you can cut it right where your airspace is. You're allowed.
Criminal, what the fuck do I look like a criminal? Police wanna hella sweat, cause I keep a hood in y'all, Bill Belichick. Every night I'm getting stopped and frisked. When I walk in the drugstore, they think I'm here to shoplift. I'm just picking up Percocet prescriptions. Cops always tell me that I fit the descriptions. So what, I got prior convictions. I can't leave the house unless it's under conditions. In other words, I'm a changed man, but they think I'm doing crime every time when they exchange hands. I've never been on gangland. Got tats on my neck, and they think I'm in a gang. Damn. So what, I got on blue laces, and I'm fighting for my life, cause a nigga got 2 cases. I guess I got these crackers shook. They scared to death when they see me. What the fuck? Do I look like a criminal? What the fuck? Do I look like a criminal? What the fuck? Do I look like a criminal? What the fuck? Do I look like a criminal? Honey bad motherfucker. These tattoos got them thinking I'm bad news. I'm the reason they kids like to listen to rap tunes. My cash rolls, my face covered in scars. Coppers on me cause they think I'm trying to run from a charge. Man, it's bad, I can't even hit the ball in peace. The second the public see me, they just call police. I keep my third eye open when I walk these streets. They don't want to give me chances, all they want is the beef. And I know I did some real wild shit in my past, so they test me by telling me I gotta piss in this class. The shit isn't right. I ask them what they talking about, cause I see them out my window when they watching my house. I swear to God, they better not step foot on my yard. I'll start jumping at these suckers, have a look in the God. Fuck a stereotype, you better take it back, bitch. I wasn't born this way. The cops made me like this, I ain't a criminal.
Queen, grandmother, prime minister, God, Jesus, the Father. You got a lot of fucking weirdos that we never see in real life. You tell us, you're telling you to come do stuff.
Like a criminal. The fuck do I look like a criminal? Yeah, that's one of no one. Do I look like a criminal? Cause my pants be sagging. Red boxes that say my drawers is flagging. They say that my facials look so violent. What the fuck? That's racial profiling. Pull me over like my tags.
I get that all the time. The look on your face, you're looking at me like this and that. That means you're thinking this and that. Yeah, because you took one look at me, decided you know what race I am, or remember, half-breed. You can't tell what race I am. That all falls in the category of half-breed. So they keep, well, I don't know what you are. It's like, yeah, you always emphasize the word what, like I'm a thing. No, I'm a who. I'm a who.
Why shit? Like there's no way it's his. See how I buy that shit. Gun registered, still trying to hide that shit. Till the states that can't believe they let me buy that shit. I come to visit. You think I'm scoping out your spot? They taking pictures. You thinking this for my mugshot? They been calling me a criminal for so damn long. Starting to believe they right. You gon' make me do something wrong. You see me in the hood. You think I'm trying to rob you. I'm just talking to you and you think I'm trying to con you. No matter what, they gon' call me a crook. So you think I give a fuck if I look like a motherfucking criminal? What the fuck do I look like a criminal? What the fuck do I look like a criminal? What the fuck do I look like a criminal?
That we should trust you, yeah. We want within days to understand what violence are talking about themselves, these lawsuits, because we are not, I repeat, not going to go through the holidays and have people shocked when they're going to be profiled.
Yo, this is Young Lava. We love hip hop.
It's Boots Bangetti, Genie, man. We love hip hop. We here. We in the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
So these tomatoes, they're in their second or third year, some of them, and the fruit are getting bigger, and they're doing this thing where one at a time, a few of them at a time, are turning red and ripening. They're not all turning ripe at the same time. And the grapes all over the neighborhood, I can see them, but they're green. Clumps everywhere, but they're green. I'm just waiting. The first bottle, the milk bottle, was great.
808 Mafia. 808 Mafia. Well, I'ma hit you with the burner, Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner, What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder. Yeah, boy, I'ma hit you with the burner, Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner, What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder. Smoke like these house pipe, cheap fools got pots pipe, get axed out like tic-tac-toes. We on the road, steady doing show. His pop man shit to broke the boss.
So I don't pretend to know all the street level shit in Haiti like I'm from there. Nah, I know about as much as anybody could find out. So I'll just give you a little shortcut to things you could find out. There's a man that the media is saying is like, he's the most powerful gangster in Haiti. Now remember, places like that doesn't last long, because you die and then it's another guy, and then he dies, it's another, yeah. They've got like a consortium of gangs. They call the G9. This was like the big 9 gang. Yeah, you've heard of the G20 and the G8 minus Russia equals G7, and they're the G9. Wait a second. We went from G8 to G7, so we went to G9. That's interesting. G9. And he's calling on all the gangs to protest, not to go kill everybody, to protest what's happening. He said that we have a problem with our president, but we never said somebody could come over here and kill their fucking president. All these where you say Katie's chaotic and blah blah blah, and the gangs will do this. Gangs are bad. Gangs are bad. You know what they always tell us? Gangs are bad. They don't want us to form gangs. So I got this book over here. It's called Reference Groups. It's from the 60s. It's by Sheriff and Sheriff, Sharif. And it's all about how to infiltrate a group of kids without them realizing, buddy, they realize. Kids know when there's like an adult that's, why are you hanging out with us? Oh, to study you for school. Basically teach you how to start a fucking gang without the kids even realizing you did it. You published that damn book. It's right there. I can see it, but I'm not moving the stack because they're stacked like this. Oh, don't start your own gang. Join my gang. Hey, wait a second. You notice they didn't form a super gang? It's 9 separate gangs. Hey, they weren't expecting that one to happen. Into OZ. I knew I was gonna be rich the first time I ever touched the beat. Slime gang, 13, you better get in line, you wanna murk me. 2-4 fish, we strapped up. That's 90 reasons to give it up. I'm trying to fill my bricks truck. So this man owned a piece of a clothing line. I forget the exact details. It's one you've heard of. You might even have owned some of it. Oh man, that's expensive. That's the nice shit. And while he was serving a 3.5-year sentence, he sold his share for $350,000. That's $100,000 a year to sit in jail, isn't it? Fuck, no rent and no, you're not paying for food. Always hustling. Always hustling. I need a bad bitch like this. On my wood. Lego. Beat it up and never eat it up. Make that understood. I'm the little engine that could. Hell yeah, I came a long way. My main goal is just to get paid. It's cutthroat. You better ride the wave up till you sell Kurt Cobain. I murder the streets in the dope game. I take the fatty, you can keep the fame. Cause clone with the hottest brain. Being sold into every country. I spit this word heads making money. You better hit me with the murder. With the murder. The break of the plant I got here. Pussy shaking like it's fucking Tina Turner. Fucking strapped up with the burner. This is murder. This is murder. This is murder. I think he's talking about making bootleg DVDs or something. Strapped up 2 9s like a Gretzky. Boy, I'ma hit you with the burner. Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner. What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder. Yeah, boy, I'ma hit you with the burner. Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner. What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder. That's the man. He come up from the blood with the flame. That's on this, I like it banging. I throw that kerosene on shit, I mix it up, then I sip it. I'm around the monkey mess, I graduated. Told your bitch ain't with that cuffing, but that pussy got grilled up. She said he want that nachos, take your checks, they need help. I chop potatoes, swear from those, I hit the block and I float. I wrapped it on it like I'm on that vacuum packed and I show. I got bomb, I got bullet, I got 7 mil. These niggas be acting like I'm fussing with the bangs. Turn it in to a scratch. Chop. Got some presses. These niggas be acting like I'm stuck ready. The bags for the damn, still killed by the penny. If someone got this, used to chop blades. Told mama pray from the front page. Shopping all the berry nigga while me running weapons. They respect a pussy while I'm running choppers. Lady through the struggle, got them feeling. Mother still can wait to chop and make them disappear. Maybe haters go up, man. I thought she never slipping. Middle finger to them laws. Give a fuck about no chillers. Nigga talk behind your back. They be all up in their feelings. Me a very bad wolf. Bitch, I eat up all your chickens. Boy, I'ma hit you with the burner. Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner. What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder. Yeah, boy, I'ma hit you with the burner.
Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner. What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder. You be soft, how you playing games, though. I like the simple things, but I still wanna range, though. The mind of a devil, heart of an angel, and that's why I live in life and be painful. I tend to smoke less and never ever aim low. Chasing after dreams like you're chasing after rainbows. Searching for the pot of good, but you ain't getting change, yo. CTM busting headshots all on your main hole. I'm smoking trees, that's nuts. I'm with the team, yeah, I'm talking cuts. You be soft, bro. Why you acting tough, though? Yeah, why you acting tough, though? Boy, I'ma hit you with the burner.
I didn't do the fuck. I've been saying it for a year.
Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner. What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder. Yeah, boy, I'ma hit you with the burner. Yeah, I'ma hit you with the burner. What I say, everything I spit is murder. What I say, everything I spit is murder.
De parler après, de discuter avec lui, puis c'est vraiment impressionnant quand même d'avoir un homme qui, comme lui, de un exploit comme ça. Bon, moi je vais continuer de vous parler de ce qu'il y a à faire cet été parce qu'on pensait qu'on ferait rien de l'été. Finalement, il y a quand même des
Some sun there in Saskatoon, sunny, highs to 29.
Number 1 for breaking news. This is All News Radio.
Hello, I'm Renee Bernard, and here's what's making news right now.
As evacuation orders continue to mount due to BC's forest fire situation, concerns about the impact on local tourism are also on the rise.
Meantime, the Canadian Armed Forces are on their way to Northern Ontario to evacuate as many as 300 members of First Nations community due to a wildfire. We have an update on the number of bodies recovered from the collapsed condo tower in Florida. And Canadian troops are heartbroken following news that Taliban have taken a region in Afghanistan where Canada fought its bloodiest battles.
Canada hard. Final at Wembley, Djokovic wins a Grand Slam at Wimbledon, and the
motherfuckers put a Tim Hortons out there.
First game of the NBA Finals. Sports at 45.
Fuck you, we're out here. That's what that is.
Business, a money-making Canada Day long weekend. New data shows the country took a big step back into parts of life that have been missed during the pandemic.
All those stories and more coming up in 60 seconds.
This is City News Traffic Center. I'm Johnson Braywell. This report is brought to you by Good Food. Right now, if you are traveling eastbound on the 401 from Trafalgar to the 407, we have 2 right lanes closed for construction. Expect a little bit of a delay. Eastbound 401 routes to Trafalgar are also blocked off for maintenance. A vehicle fire cleanup happening on the eastbound 401 at Meadowville and the Express, where we have 2 right lanes blocked off. Just a heads up, it's quite the visible distraction and it's causing a bit of a delay. Gardner Expressway closed both ways from the DVP to the 427, expected to open up in less than 5 hours. What's for dinner? With Good Food, you'll never have to ask. Choose from 3 ready-to-cook recipes each week. Get 8 free meals at makegoodfood.ca/GF8. Certain conditions apply. Next report, 12:31. Take a look at the forecast.
Chance of showers this morning. Our daytime high near 23 degrees, so we're still a hint below seasonal. We do have some wet weather moving in again later in the day, with not only the chance of showers, but also the risk of some isolated thunderstorms as we fall to lows near 20. Your daytime high for this afternoon, 23 degrees.
These mice go places.
Our top story, more British Columbians have been forced to flee their homes this weekend due to wildfires, with concerns also growing about the impact the fire season is having on local tourism.
A wildfire that's around 150 hectares in size near Sun Peaks, north of Kamloops, forcing people from 132 properties to pack up and leave. While that fire is not threatening the resort community itself, Sun Peaks Mayor Al Rayan says the continued threat of the fires is keeping many tourists away.
More than half of the hotel guests are coming from out of province. That's why we were so badly hit with COVID. Now we've been kind of relying more and more on the provincial business, and certainly the fires aren't going to encourage people to come to the Kamloops region.
At the same time, a number of homes have also been cleared due to a wildfire burning west of Williams Lake in the Caribou region. There are over 300 forest fires currently burning in BC, over 50 of which started over the last 2 days alone.
Right into the side of the mountain.
The federal government is imposing new restrictions on CP and CN rail to protect communities along rail lines when the fire danger level is extreme. Transport Minister Omar Al-Gabral's latest ministerial order allows the fire that killed 2 people and displaced hundreds of others in Lytton, BC, the Lytton First Nation, and the surrounding area almost 2 weeks ago. The new measures include ensuring a 16-minute response time in the event of a fire along the rail right-of-way. Al-Gabral says unprecedented weather conditions in BC continue to pose a serious threat to public safety and railway operations.
I would have been out there watering all them fucking weeds all day long. I would have been the weirdo watering weeds up and down the railway line.
There. Minister of Public Safety Bill Blair, along
right
with
now I'm the weirdo that
National
cleans
Defense
plastic bottles in a sewer
have
drain.
announced the community will receive military support to evacuate. Thunder Bay, Ontario says it will host as many as 300 people from the community. Ontario's Ministry of Natural Resources says the fire known as Red Lake 65 covers about 40 kilometers.
That is a food coloring
and is out of control.
Skittles or some
The
shit.
federal government will match any donations Canadians make to the Red Cross to help people affected by wildfires. BC is also matching all donations made to the agency. They will match any donation up to $20 million.
I mean, that's serious. You could have gone out there on nature walks just to collect up dead wood that don't need to do this. Some of it you leave and some of it you don't. You figure out what to do as you go through. Big dry fucking dead log with nothing growing on it.
California's system overseeing electric transmission lines, the independent system operator, Elliot Mainzer, warns people in homes and businesses to cut back power use or risk outages.
As we get to the heart of that time, as the sun's really setting and loads are still really high, we're asking folks to work even harder.
System VP Mark Rothleader also blames wildfires.
5,500 megawatts of import capability that is reduced as a result of the fires.
One Oregon fire caused the state to reduce power sent to California. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
90 deaths have now been confirmed and 31 people still missing after last month's collapse of a high-rise condo in Surfside, Florida. The bodies of 2 Canadians have been recovered, but 2 are still missing. Surfside Mayor Charles Bourquette says recovery teams are slowly and meticulously going through the vast layers of rubble in their search for more victims.
Work is still so delicate that we've even found
Portuguese and Jamaicans will run through the whole building putting up them jacks on every fucking floor.
Meantime, an Israeli search and rescue team that arrived in Florida shortly after the collapse is heading home
after a ceremony to honor their
contributions. An update on COVID in this country. Saskatchewan has become the second province in the country to lift all COVID-19 restrictions. Nurses in the province have sounded the alarm, saying they hope the restrictions will come back if cases start to climb again. In Ontario, they had 166 new cases and 6 new deaths. On Friday, BC had 45 new cases and no new deaths. The Quebec government is reducing the required distance between 2 people from different households to 1 meter. In a document slated for release on Monday, Quebec's Workplace Health and Safety Commission said
I said that a year and a half ago, not that we should go to a meter. In Congo, they don't have 2 meters of fucking space. They say keep 1 meter. Why? Because you can do that. That's 1 step. Well, for me, it's 1 step.
Sports venues allowed to accommodate 50 spectators indoors and 100 outdoors. All this is amid dropping COVID-19 infections and rising vaccinations. The top U.S. infectious disease expert is urging Americans to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
Dr. Anthony Fauci on ABC's This Week says communities where there are low vaccination rates are seeing more cases of the Delta variant.
But this is a nasty variant. It has a much greater capability of transmitting from person to person.
Fauci says the vaccines are effective against this variant and that after hundreds of millions of doses, the safety and efficacy of the vaccines are well known. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
With COVID-19 vaccination rates plateauing across the U.S., Arkansas is among the states with the lowest vaccination rates, and its Republican governor says he's working to end that.
Hearing on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos,
Arkansas does not go against survival. Wow,
what the fuck? Partisan divide over whether or not to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
Clearly, a conservative is more hesitant about government authority. That's just the nature of it, and so I think
that's why we need all these laws to force people to do what we want and not try to control us.
Hutchinson says he's fine with President Biden's vaccination push.
There's nothing dramatic
Vice
about
President.
what the president
Trump's Vice President Biden.
No one wants an agent knocking on a door, but we do want those that
do not have access.
You don't knock on more than 2 or 3 doors, bro.
The information.
But by the time you get to when you get to the second house, when you leave the second house, the guy from the first house calls the guy from the second house, and they dummy you when you're at the door of the third house. They call that guy up and say, "Hey,
the Delta variant when it comes to those with
just keep him
compromised
distracted for
immune
a
systems."
second."
Prime Minister Naftali Bennett authorizing a third booster shot of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine be given starting today to those at risk, like cancer patients. Bennett also purchasing a fresh
Well, I didn't even get to mention that yet. We did hear about that a few months ago. They were like 6 to 8 months ago. They were talking about we'll probably need booster shots. Well, they're giving you a third dose of the same shit. You're going to end up getting a dose of every different one.
The vast majority of the vaccinated are not falling seriously ill or dying.
Oh, they talk about the COVID hangover.
Jerusalem.
Canadian veterans are reacting with concern that the Taliban captured a key district in Kandahar where Canada fought its largest and bloodiest battles in Afghanistan. Retired Corporal Matthew Liloff, who is now an Ottawa City Councillor, says he's disheartened after video surfaced last week showing the Taliban occupying places where Canadian soldiers fought and died more than a decade ago.
It seems quite bleak when you're seeing these images of areas that, we used to have firm control in, just being turned over. To see the Taliban on top of places like Sperwangar and Mazumgar, I find it so heartbreaking.
The Taliban's recent victories follow the withdrawal of most U.S. troops from Afghanistan, where a total of 158 Canadian soldiers and 7 civilians died between 2001 and 2014.
Hey, where's China?
Italy has won the Euro Cup, beating England in penalty kicks Sunday afternoon. This historic win was cause for celebration across Canada. And there were tense moments for Vancouver's Italian Cultural Center's Mario Michelli as he and fellow nationals watched their team emerge victorious in a penalty shootout. But Michelli says there are 2 wins for the local Italian community.
We have a vaccination my grandmother's house, he gets popped by a guy wearing a drywall mask and a hard hat.
We're just happy that we can expedite people getting out and enjoying what they all did today.
It's the first time Italy has won the Euro Cup since 1968. It is 40 minutes past the hour. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have a look at your weather forecast. You're listening to All News Radio.
11 reasons to switch to Search Kings. 11 years helping Canadian businesses. Over 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Better Business Bureau A+ rating. No Google ad setup fees. Transparent pricing. Flat rate management fees. Over 5,000
They can get you 1,000 5-star reviews too for $42.95 a month or some shit.
One of the largest Google Premier partners in Canada. And Search Kings genuinely cares about your business.
So how'd you get those 5-star reviews?
Where your customers are online? Switch to Search Kings.
License 10349.
People don't usually sing about their.
That type of this style of advertising goes all the way back to like the 30s and 40s. But how bad is your industry known for corruption that you don't just have to give your license number? Plumbers and electricians don't have to give their license number during the commercial. They just say, "We're a plumber, call us." You don't just have to put it in the commercial. You lead with it. This is our license number. Now we're going to sing you a song. What else did I read? I know I've got so in my clip stack app thing here. There's all sorts of links, but I'll share them to social bullshit later. Uh-oh. Did we break it?
4TG, do this nigga. Fit for the grind, nigga. Listen. I sit down and look at life from a different angle. Picture my soul being lifted from a different angel. But fuck it, I done lost no loved ones. When the gloves on, better run when the gun's drawn. One no play, no game, all of the fun's done. It's real talk, niggas don't care where you come from. If it's beef in the streets, we can meet, my nigga. Keep your heat, but still watch for police, my nigga. Still gotta wear a tee that says free, my niggas. You can get your whole wig slapped if you don't be my niggas. Slick talk with no show to get your homie clapped. Just because I spit, don't think
that, it's only rap. I got a clip but still roll like a lonely man. They talk shit because they really don't know me, fam. Enemies, if you don't know what I'ma do to you, get the shotty circle around your body like a hula hoop. You soft like some boomer fool. That's when the Ruger shoots. He didn't move like he took a step in some super glue. We froze up, but I ain't fucking with no sheepdogs. We in the streets full of bills for a weak pump. But if it's beat 5 shots when I beat snuffs, and I don't talk about my strap, but no street love, try me. Free my young boy Wobby, he's grimy. Put the big fifth where your eyes be. Who knows? Nice days turn crucial, and niggas get their food ate when the moon blows. Once upon a time, I really was new to this. Stumbled across a 9 and I really was using it. See my first murder and I really wasn't used to it. On my own burner and it turned me to a lunatic. Stay pushed out, I'm smoking on the stupid chronic. I sell food, you would've thought we owned the supermarket. And move rich, you would've thought we was construction workers. Got niggas in the bin doing life for murders. Shame a nigga up and look at his shirt. If it's red then he's dead, correct me putting in work. I can tell that it hurt, boy. You had a choice, be a thug or a church boy. Slang and let it burst, boy. Sights I'm seeing have me fighting with demons. Still catch me lounging in the park.
So the word church is in my name, so I think about that a lot. Never mind.
Lake Region 25 is how much you get the llama for. 7-5.
And the regent is like the king.
Niggas have you bleeding on your mama's floor. And this a banger, so my haters gonna comment more until the bullet eats they flesh like a carnivore. Yup, want me to show you what them hollows do? I ain't talking Twitter when I said my niggas followed you. Got rated 1, so my bitch I can't live with her. But don't think I'm slipping, cause this stays in my perimeter. You already know. 7-5 F4DG, we do this, nigga. See what I'm saying? 2012.
This motherfucker says it's gonna rain. I don't necessarily believe this guy. Eh? No, because they're wrong a lot. They just lost their contest. You know what? I already know the answer. They lost their contest like yesterday. We were the only station with a weather guarantee, and we lost yesterday. Wow. So last year they actually came out and said they were having trouble finding the insurance guy that's supposed to pay the prize out of it. Really, you don't just stick a $100 bill in a jar every day. You actually insure against the odds of somebody winning the prize. What do you pay for that?
Shout out to DJ Mike Soul, DJ Stray, DJ Despair, Winnipeg and I Live Radio DJ, I was ready to move, yeah. Be the little DJ, stand up. He's the early rapper, my early rapper. I get up and drop a bang, oh. Yeah, he's the early rapper, my early rapper. I get up and drop a bang, oh. Yeah, he's the early rapper, my early rapper. He's the early rapper, my early rapper. He's the early rapper, my early rapper. Back in.
My curiosity, I gotta know.
Welcome to Environment Canada's Weather Service. Pour la ville de Toronto. Pour la prévision publique pour les 7 prochains jours, faites le 1. Prévision émise par Environnement Canada à 15h30 le dimanche 11 juillet pour ce soir, cette nuit, lundi et la nuit suivante. Ville de Toronto pour ce soir et cette nuit, quelques averses, cessant ce soir. Nuageux par la suite avec 30% de probabilité d'averse. Vent devenant du nord-est à 20 km/h en fin de nuit. Minimum 19. Pour lundi, nuageux avec 30% de probabilité d'averse. Vent d'est de 20 km/h avec rafale à 40, maximum 23, un indice humidex 28, l'indice ultraviolet de 4 ou modéré. Lundi soir, nuageux, 30% de probabilité d'averse, devenant 70% de probabilité d'averse vers minuit. Risque d'un orage au cours de la nuit. Vent d'est de 20 km/h, devenant faible en soirée. Température stable, près de 20. Prévision à long terme pour mardi, nuageux avec 70% de probabilité d'averse.
Tuesday's long term?
Maximum
Wow.
26. Mardi soir, nuageux avec 70% de probabilité d'averse. Minimum 20. Pour mercredi, nuageux avec 70% de probabilité d'averse. Maximum 29. Mercredi soir, dégagé. Minimum 18. Pour jeudi, alternance de soleil et de nuages. Maximum 29. Jeudi soir, passage nuageux. Minimum 19. Pour vendredi, nuageux. Maximum 26. Vendredi soir, nuageux avec 40% de probabilité d'averse. Minimum 19. Pour samedi, nuageux avec 60% de probabilité d'averse. Maximum 26. Normal pour la période. Minimum 17. Maximum 27. Pour la prévision.
150 fucking seconds.
Get shot up.
It's not the same thing that guy said. It's the
same. Blood pressure, True Santana, sure I'm an air. I might be facing best time, and that ain't right. Cause I like those guys. Can't be just snakes like DJ academics. Even Tory Lanez might be facing best time like Trump lawyer on the court order. Cardi B got that threat, cause she wore a blood bandana dress, nigga. Fuck you, hate.
Yes, it's your girl Destiny, Miss Queen Cup, aka your hood's favorite oracle. Ya tu sabes, this is Necia. We love hip hop 905 that way. Coma's in this bitch. Are you dumb? Shout out, we love hip hop, huh?
Yo, we love hip hop. Yo, I know you did an interview, but you're gonna pull up for me for my interview. We are gonna do interviews together whenever you. No, my nigga, if me.
I guess you know.
Real hip hop shit.
Guess you know.
Shit symphony.
The Constantine Report.
I'm
at the drug lab trying to figure out my next move. I gotta make this raw street hot breakthrough. This criminology rap, this slash fake crews. Like insanity that make front page news. I'm the head trauma that makes your Scarface bruise. MCs nowadays lose with bars they use. There's a war between heaven and hell. Which do you choose? No matter what side homes, you gotta pay dues. My central intelligence was birthed in my residence of downtown tenements with criminal elements, man. I live my life while the wicked try edit it. My brain's more fucked up than Joyce with a stem in it. The weak shit I'm dead in it. All for the cause. All be crucifying your lies. Live on the Jesus cross. We hold our own court when truth is the judge. I got hollow jurors that give out guilty verdicts.
These words that I live by. One day I might die by. Make my mom cry. Will this shit get worse for me? The CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency. These words that I live by. One day I might die by. Make my mom cry. Will this shit get worse for me? The CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency.
To make the world panic more than gang faggots lead masses. Go beyond banging, fuck religion. Meditate with the boys, the ramming horns with the Jewish. I'm talking saddle with Moses. Be Gnostic when I walk through Jerusalem. Cleanse you, come and swell, I drill a code of suit. We've been through the stars, seen the first name Jesus. These ain't clues, right? True things to wake the youth. Before they wasted talent in the lock of the shoot. Come on, I'm culminating when I'm in the meridian. Illumination, fuck being an idiot. A master mason when I'm building my pyramid. Medicine man, blowing up the schools of American. Logical tell friend. Determination to leave my family. Water crossed up, we kill a minute man. I'm living paranoid, I think it's the end. Till I hit the earth wept when I took my first breath.
That I live by. One day I might die by. Make my mom cry. Will this shit get worse for me? The CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency. These words that I live by. One day I might die by. Make my mom cry. Will this shit get worse for me? The CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency.
We dealing with a system designed to confuse niggas' minds, and it's worse when the people divide. Fighting titans, ruling the earth's tyrants, evil alliance, trying to blind us and changing the ancient God sciences. Instead of taking knowledge and applying it, the devils reversed the knowledge and gave us.
So the Haitians are saying that 26 of these 28 people are Colombians, and they're former Colombian army and all this crazy shit.
The spell of Leviathan, garbage king dog, meaning the dog star, represented by Anubis. Am I losing y'all? I hope y'all ready for war. I'll be busting till the trumpets blow to signify the emperor's song. With a tin of canteen in a chrome 4-4. Not dealing with man's rituals, but with God's laws. And I know I'm on the list for the things that I spit. The government act as if the artists are terrorists. They carry piss because the kids listen to this and get influenced by the music, so they can't tell us shit. This is rebel music. Nigga, raise your fist. The words that I speak, a nigga live and die by this. I'm just a poet with an ancient soul. A master teacher that knows how to break down and speak in code.
Words that I live by, one day I might die by. Make my mom cry. When this shit get worse for me, the CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency. These words that I live by, one day I might die by. Make my mom cry. Would this shit get worse for me? The CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in a state of emergency.
Sure could use a flash flood or an avalanche right about now, eh? Fires and all that. Office size for nobody. You gotta live out there, figure out how to live out there. You didn't. These people build their houses out of wood with trees right up to the house. And then they don't do anything to prevent the forest from catching fire. Because it's going to, no matter what.
You guess I'm just a radical. Rooney. Don't sleep now. Don't sleep. If you rest the D, die, know you set me high. Lake shots, nigga, rep your block. Best be holding your tongue. The bloody north where the soldiers is from. If you rep the D, die, know you set me high. Lake shots, nigga, rep your block. You ain't the man, best be holding your tongue. The bloody north where the soldiers is from.
3, 5, 7s and Mac 11s, D7, cock your weapon and stop yelling if you rep 187. I got niggas in the front ready and willing to split you down the middle just like a blunt, so walk but not with me. The Lord will not forgive me for shaking up your kidney, cause you faking and Disney. My niggas lippy and shifty, pissy, Billy, Iggy, Shiggy. We don't give a wiggy, what really, Millie trying to kill the city like crack in the 80s. I'm ready to burn in Hades. My dog's infected with rabies, not even my father can fit me. You niggas is crazy. Fuck up, fight and learn what these talents do. You can be as cuckoo as you are, I'm unbalanced too. Thanks in the garden, I'm coming to rally you. Massacre splatter you, run you off of your avenue while I laugh at you. Demonic, sadistic, demented rushes. My figment of the Reverend Alias, run you up the district.
If you rep the D, die, know you set me high. Lake shots, nigga, rep your block. You ain't the man, best be holding your tongue. The bloody north.
I want to call up these mortgage companies and tell them I've got 407 on my credit score and see what they say. I want to find the company. I want to hear what they say. I'm all about the human element in that response.
The demon is a liar. He would like to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us.
Oh damn!
The attack is psychological, powerful. So don't mix it. Remember that. Do not mix it. The demon is a liar. He would like to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. The attack is psychological, powerful. So don't mix it. Remember that. Do not mix it.
So somebody I know who's dead now told us that every lie needs a handle, like a hot pot every lie needs a handle. The truth is supposed to be the handle in her example here. The bigger the lie, the bigger the handle. If if people if you try to give somebody something in order to trick them into something, people won't accept it. You got to sell them something, and then they will eat it up like crazy, whatever the case may be.
This is real life shit, can't change it for an instant. Blood, sweat, and tears, now everyone's against it. Trying to step in our way, man, your ass will get popped. Got homies on every corner, none afraid to get shot. You hear it drop, here comes the end of your life. Hollow points cutting through you like the edge of a knife. It's getting harder to see, step away from the light, cause I'm the devil in disguise, so you're
I'm over here fucking with TF, Travis, and Floyd. I'm on a vodka, man. Drinking. Is that
Hey, fuck y'all. Hey, my arm hurts.
How you doing? Bro. Come on, chill.
Fuck the police. I gotta go back to my house.
You ain't been looking for me. What I do?
Got the gun. It's a wrap.
I might die for this shit, nigga. All them homicides was on Crip, nigga. Gang banging that Crip shit. Niggas calling up cause of them blue shades. My people still was right behind, and then no nigga pulling up for no new rave. It was cool to the gang raid. Now these tough guys just never act right. Blood can fill a whole bathtub. Let these blood brothers get baptized. Blacklisted on the bad guy, plus some dark skin, so I'm the black guy. Never see me like black ice, and we still pack cannons at shack sites. Niggas swear that they're the man, and the last came brother like, really what you talking about? Niggas say you in the can, try to kill him on the track, let the people still chop him up. I ain't trust anybody that'll walk around. Popcorn, only reason that they popping up. Niggas skins on my shoes like crocodiles. They know they fucking with me like a crocodile. Gang. Yelling that shit that you never been a part of. I know niggas I got ready for the startup. D-Rose and they ain't even put a startup. No one person goes hard for the city, got a mainstream level. Talk about the top of that product. Show me if you ever seen a bite that is out of. Not me out and mad that I got it. TCP ring like a nigga just a product. Think you styling on you cause you seen him in his product. Big gun bust from a nigga like a marker. Party next door, I need a shot in a popper. Tell Jay Prince I don't give a fuck, yo. Fighting for a rap with a cut though. Squinting in around in his hush flow. But they agree to keep it on the hush though.
I'm blued up, I'm crewed up. For the F43G, I'm shoed up. Any nigga that really want it, I'ma bomb it. 32 shots and skeletons out the closet. You don't wanna be back down with your belly up. 4 double law niggas hopping on the heavy truck. We give bullets, but niggas don't give any bucks. Not gang auto, but I'll show you how to semi-buck. Type of strap, you may need to get rid of me. Really take headshots, so who's guillotine? You ain't not really banging these streets. Got heat from the west, but I'll bang in the east, nigga. Crip. I rep a gang that you never been a part of. I put that on my mother and I put that on my daughter. If you just one of my brothers, then your blacks could have shot up. I'm like Welvin, yelling out got him. So you ain't gotta ask Biggie Smalls who shot him. I got a Biggie pump, got a perk when I pop up. Had to move work in the slums just to guap up. Now I hit the club, tell the bartender top up. The stocks world, so for lock, you'll get shot up. Now I hit the club, tell the bartender top up. The stocks world, so for lock, you'll get shot up.
I might die for this shit, nigga. All them homicides was on.
That's a lot of red flashing lights on my screen. What did I just trigger to happen? Wow, it's so creative. Your timing's just like the most unpredictable. We never know when you're gonna pop off.
Yo, back
in the packages, the war order coming disastrous. I'm getting bottles of water in matches because it's hazardous. Immaculate hate. And my folks established moving in generations and nations are going at it. I'm on the front lines of these perilous times. Confusing binds the minds of world sweet as sign. A ray of hope through this dark cloud of injustice. Motherfuck the city of gold that performing is lusting. Jewel and crust.